I'm sorry, oh, he's probably dead, I'm guessing. I'm sorry, Kilram says. He pats his teleporter guy on the arm. I must have made you remember some painful memories just now. That was not my intention. Did something happen to your brother since then? Hardrick says. Asked the teleporter guy with a more serious look in his eyes. He was killed by one of the city guards a few weeks ago. Teleporter guy says, if we never managed to retrieve his body, my only consolation is that from what I've heard, he died a quick and painless death. We'll make these bastards pay, Hardrick says angrily. You have my word. Thank you for your support, the teleporter guy says. You could just say it with the very thundercloud. I guess they didn't want to type that out every single time. Kinda loses the joke value of it. Melindra says, as she brings her face close to that of the teleporter guy in order to study more attentively. Is there something wrong? The teleporter guy says as he takes a step back. Your offload doesn't fluctuate much, does it? Melindra says. I've noticed this yesterday too, but today it's even more obvious. For example, it was clear from your voice and tone that you weren't all that comfortable talking about your brother just now, but despite all of that, your aura remained as calm as ever. Are you keeping it suppressed all the time by any chance? What? The teleporter guy says, no, it's just the way I was born. I don't really know much about it, but because my magical sense isn't that sharp, but apparently my emotions don't really show up in my aura for some reason. There's probably a name for this condition I have, but I haven't really bothered to learn it. Anyway, so do you guys already have a destination in your mind, or should I bring you the map? We do know our destination, yes, Yelram says. We need to teleport somewhere close to Reman Street. Anywhere near that area will do. You know where it is, right? Yes, of course. The teleporter guy says. This is the certain alleyway relatively close to the street where I should be able to teleport you without any risk of being detected. I'll set your coordinates in a moment. Take your time, Slowpoke, Aruka says. But you just call me, teleporter guy says as he temporarily stops pressing the buttons on his desk. Slowpoke, Arga says. Slowpoke is what I called you. Isn't that your original nickname? Why would you think that? The teleporter guy says. Well, you mentioned earlier that the three initial nicknames you guys had were Slowpoke, Monobrow, and Fatface, Araka says. Since you clearly have two separate eyebrows and your weight is slightly below an average, I have concluded by simple process of elimination that your nickname used to be Slowpoke. Also, you were a bit slow, so there's that too. Those nicknames were only examples, teleporter guy says, and besides, how can you even be so sure that I didn't used to be you won't used to be as fat as a kid, or I didn't pluck my eyebrows since then. A desperate attempt at denying the truth are only making you look guiltier, Slowpoke, Araga says. Don't let her get to you, Slowpoke, she's only trying to annoy you. His name is Barry, okay, enough with the nicknames already. Doesn't matter if he used to be called Slowpoke or not, nobody's going to call him that, well, except for Araga. Actually, I kinda like this one. Don't let her get to you, Slowpoke. She's only trying to annoy you. I'm gonna join in on the fun. I rarely join in on the fun with Araka because our fun is always so bad in terms of humor. But I'll humor her. Don't let her get to you, Slowpoke. She's only trying to annoy you. Aura concealment check failed. Oh right, our aura concealment is garbage. Don't let her get to you, and Slowpoke. She's only trying to annoy you. Yes, I can see that. She's trying to annoy me, the teleporter guy says. And so are you by the looks of it. Just stop distracting me, alright? I need to pay attention when I put these coordinates. Just a moment, Monero says. Hardrick, you are not concealing your aura properly. Didn't I already tell you that you need to hide it completely? Yes, that's what I'm doing, Hardrick says. No, you're not, Monero says. You're just hiding your magical power. How can you even make the confusion? You harden your aura all the time when you fight. All you need to do is conceal it instead of hardening it. How can it be hard? How hard can it be? Hey, it's not the same thing at all, Hardrick says. When I harden the aura from my fist, for example, I focus on the whole layer around my... Oh wait, never mind, I think I get it now. The aura that can be felt on our Hardrick is now gradually fading away until it becomes virtually undetectable. Okay, is this better? Hardrick says. Melindra asks Melindra. Yes, Melindra says, that's how you do it. Barry, I'm going to guess that you can't hide your aura any better than this. Unfortunately, no, I say. Oh well, Melindra says, I suppose we'll just have to hope that there won't be any guards close enough to notice you then. Either way, I'd say we should be ready to teleport to the surface now. Very well, the teleporter guy says, good luck. We then feel the same familiar sensation of our bodies beginning to vibrate while we get covered by bright white light, and a few minutes later we find ourselves in the middle of the deserted alley which leads to a large street filled with shops. The street over there is where we'll find the herbalist shop, Kilram tells us. It looks like the curfew is still in effect because it's not normal for this place to be so empty at this hour. Follow me. I'll lead you to the first shop. As we begin to walk to behind the goblin, Eluna suddenly addresses Araka in a low voice. Well, Araka, Eluna says, are you going to tell us what you found out about Barry Thundercloud, or are you planning to keep it all to yourself? Huh? Araka says, what are you mumbling about? Don't play dumb with me, Eluna says. There's no way you'd waste your time talking to someone as unimportant as him without having some ulterior motives. You were almost certainly making him angry on purpose in order to see if you could get his aura to fluctuate. So I ask you again, what did you find out? Araka says. Still as perceptive as ever, I see, she says. Fine, I admitted. Melindra caught my interest when she mentioned his relatively stagnant aura earlier. Wanted to see if he was just suppressing it, or if it really had something to do but the way he was born. Like he said, it was pretty obvious that I managed to both piss him off and make him lie about his old nickname when I made fun of him, but I still couldn't see any changes in his aura whatsoever. This means that he's most likely telling the truth about the aura naturally being like this, because I would have certainly noticed it if he was trying to keep it stable on purpose. So he was not suppressing his aura on purpose because he had something to hide from us then, Eluna says. That's good to know. Can you two lower your voice a little more? Darren says. We don't want to give away our position when we're about to get to the first shop. It's fine, Melindra says. None of the guards are within hearing range of us, and they are not moving towards us yet. We should be safe for now. I don't know what to say, Layla writes. I don't really like the way these shopkeepers are looking at us. Now Layla mentioned it, I realized that most of the shopkeepers we're passing so far have either been giving us accusatory looks through their windows, or they've been backing away in fear in the mere sight of us. It's pretty clear that we are not exactly welcome here. It's normal that they act this way, Kate says. The king said that nobody is allowed to walk these streets until his brother's murderers are found. So it shouldn't take a genius to realize that anyone who's willing to ignore the curfew and go out for a stroll at this hour can only be looking for trouble. Even if they haven't already heard our description from the guards, they still have plenty of reasons to be wary of us. Speaking of wary, Hardrick says, look who's coming down to greet us. As we all look up at the sky, you see a green-eyed drone slowly make its way towards us. Greeting, friends. We hear the overseer's voice coming from the drone once it gets close enough to us. Judging by your current trajectory, I have concluded that you are headed towards one of the herbalist shops in the street. Do you know that there is also a secret fourth herbalist shop in this area? I could lead you to it if you want. Why would we want to go to some secret herbalist shop when we haven't even checked the inventory of the other three? I say, as we keep moving forward and the three-eyed drone follows us from above, because the herbalist shop is said to have some very rare herbs in stock which you might not be able to find in any other places, Overseer says. Considering that the guards are all actively searching for you, would it not make more sense to start with a shop that has the widest array of merchandise? You're being too helpful again, I say. The last time you were this eager to help us was because you wanted us to kill Billy Bob for you. Tell me, what is your real question for trying to help us this time? Reason for helping us? Question unclear. Overseer says, unfortunately, the Overseer's protocol cannot it's the same shit. Ah yes, the good old question unclear response, I say. How very unsuspicious of you. I can confirm that there are indeed rumors of a fourth herbal shop in this area, Kelram says. I've never been to it, though so I'm not sure where it could be hidden. The Overseer is telling the truth about the secret shop. Might be worth to go have a quick look, Darren says. I mean, it's not like he's going to sell us over to King, right? He made us kill Billy Bob, so he's definitely not on their side. Trust me, we are much better off not listening to him. Yeah, I think we should listen to him because I feel like the King's guard will definitely be alerted by one of the peasants in this area. I guess we could go along with what he says for now. How far from here is the secret shop exactly? Luna asks. If we begin heading towards it now, I estimate that it shouldn't take more than a minute to reach our destination, the Overseer says. Show us the way then, Darren says. Request acknowledged, Overseer. Come with me. You all follow the green-eyed drone away from the main street and into one of the alleys on the right side, and after about 50 seconds or so of walking behind the Overseer, the drone suddenly stops in front of an abandoned house that has all of its windows broken. Before we get to ask the Overseer anything, the drone begins to speak once again.